of Q&A Tuesday here at BarrelRacers.com. I'm Heather Smith, and I'm coming to you live from the Mack Center here at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Now, I had an opportunity to ask the top 15 barrel racers some very specific questions, and one of them was, what are your special pre-run rituals that you go through with yourself and with your horse to prepare for your run? And it was interesting because many of the top 15 had answers that were very similar. So I thought it would be valuable to you in your own barrel racing journey if I summarized those answers and brought them to you live here at the NFR, as the barrel racers themselves are actually ready back there behind the building prior to the start of the rodeo. So the first thing that many of them mentioned is that they do some kind of body work with their horses. Now, Christina Richmond, for example, she does a stretching routine with her horses before each run. Carly Pierce, for example, her horses get massages actually after each run, and then each day preceding a run in the morning. So that's really something that the body work is something that often happens like before and after the run. Also, many of the qualifiers use something called ice-by boots, and these boots actually go on the horse's legs, they vibrate, and they apply cold therapy, so it improves circulation and it actually reduces swelling. Now, the second one is that several of them mentioned they do everything possible to avoid getting in a rush. Now, you and I know, of course, it's not ideal to ever be in a rush, but at the same time, if we get ready too soon, we can actually kind of like almost knock the edge off of our horse. And so, in this environment, however, when the first place pays over $18,000, I think it's very important, as the top 15 do as well, to go out of their way to make sure there's absolutely no risk of not being ready in time. And for example, Leanne Russ and Lisa Lockhart actually mentioned that they like to have that little bit like almost like margins in their routine to allow themselves time to mentally focus and really get dialed in mentally to focus on their run. Now, the third thing is that many of the top 15 have routines that are very specific and very exact, and they follow that exact routine before every single run. Now, they get as detailed as even the order in which they put on the boots on their horses. And so many of us do a lot of the same things, you know, when we get ready for a run. But these top 15 actually, like I said, they get very particular, very detailed about the order in which they do everything and the time in which they do everything. And this makes sense. As we know, horses are often stressed by change, and repetition and routine is common to them. But at the same time, some horses, now this is the fourth one, some horses actually start to anticipate their run, and they see those signs coming that a run is coming up, and they actually start expending their energy too far in advance. So they start actually wasting their physical and mental energy well before the run has actually begun. So, of course, this is not something we want them to do. So many of the top 15 actually have a special competition bridle that they put on right before they make their run. It's kind of a last-minute thing, and that actually acts as a performance cue for their horse, so that they don't anticipate and, you know, expend that energy too soon. For example, Leanne Russ, she split reins. Kelly Tolbert, she works her horse up in a halter. So those again are ways that to keep their horses calm and to just kind of not start associating that they're going to be making that run too soon in the event that they have a horse that wants to over-anticipate. Now, the fifth thing that I thought was really heartwarming and very interesting is that several of the top 15 said that they say a prayer before their run. And this is really something that I appreciate. They actually don't only pray for themselves and for the safety of their own horse and that they have a good run, but they pray for everyone in the rodeo to keep everyone safe and all the barrel racers safe. And so it's obvious that these barrel racers, they have that relationship to something or someone greater than themselves, and that contributes to their barrel racing success. So the rodeo will be starting soon, and I actually need to be going and taking my seat in the building. And so what I'm going to leave you with is a wrap up and a summary of these top 5 pre-run rituals of the top 15. . 1. thanks again so much for joining me here live at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. I've just had a blast bringing these top 5 winning pre-run rituals to you from the top 15. I hope you've enjoyed them, and I hope they'll be helpful to you on your barrel racing journey. So just remember what we always say here at barrelracingtips.com, and that is, applied knowledge is power.